Part 5. Secrets of Heaven and Earth. Chapter 1. The History of the Great Universe and Heaven. Section 1. The Void and the Creation Heaven Era. Before the creation by the Hananim of the beginning, with her words, there were no sun, moon, or stars, no heaven and earth, and no living forms existed. This period is called the Void, meaning there was no heaven or no universe. The Shin of Hananim moved continuously and smoothly through the void by her words. As the Hananim of the beginning moved by her words, the self-created Shin was present, calling him Alphawa, the first and the beginning. Together, Alphawa and Mama Hananim, the words Hananim of the beginning, became the creators of the beginning. When the words Hananim of the beginning said, "Let there be light," and creation began, and he saw that it was good. In the beginning, Hananim created heaven, the earth, and all things with her words, thus becoming the words Hananim of the beginning. She is Mama Hananim, whose holy title is Wa Sanna Hananim. When the words Hananim of the beginning created, Alphawa rejoiced beside her every day. When the first universe in the beginning was created, the laws and systems of heaven were first completed. Heavenly Shin, such as Angel Shin, General Shin, and male and female Taoist Shin, were then created. To understand this, imagine the organizations and systems needed to run a nation. In the heaven of the first universe, various events occurred. Every day, new stars emerged, cloaked in the enigmatic aura of life, illuminating the cosmos with mystical brilliance. As a result, the role of managing, growing, and maintaining these stars began to expand. Thus, a vast creation encompassing all sources of life was achieved in the first universe. Building upon this foundation, the second, the third, and the fourth universe were created. During this time, heaven created not only heavenly Shin, but also animal-formed Shin. The heavenly Shin were made beautiful and graceful to match their roles, while the animal-formed Shin were created to fit their roles as well, fully reflecting heaven's will and love. While heavenly Shin were created to handle heavenly affairs through wisdom and academic discipline, animal-formed Shin were deemed suitable for managing the many newly born stars due to their colossal forms and great strength. Thus, animal-formed Shin were endowed with various roles, considering the distant future of the universe's continuous creation. Heaven was pleased to see the heavenly Shin and animal-formed Shin, who were created by heaven, performing their assigned roles in their own unique forms. Heaven believed that, despite their different appearances and roles, they would live in harmony, managing and operating the many stars peacefully and beautifully. From heaven's perspective, new universes would have been created one after another, promising an endlessly continuing long time until the animal-formed Shin in the fourth universe became a group of betrayers. Heaven loved the robust growth of the animal-formed Shin from the first universe. While the heavenly Shin were created as the embodiment of beauty, the animal-formed Shin were created to represent diversity and harmony, all according to heaven's will. As the creation of the first and second universes progressed, the animal-formed Shin grew rapidly and strove to fulfill their roles properly, which heaven saw as very good and fully satisfying. Heaven trusted the animal-formed Shin as their creation, entrusting them with the significant role of guarding and managing the many newly born stars during the ongoing creation of the universe. Heaven also appointed kings among the animal-formed Shin to supervise the affairs of each universe, endowing them with additional abilities and power. As time passed, their numbers increased, and the power of the animal-formed Shin grew stronger. Section 2. The Betrayal Heaven Era. However, after the creation of the third universe, the animal-formed Shin began to express dissatisfaction with their appearance, being different from the heavenly Shin, who were created in Hananim's image. They gathered in large groups, took their bestowed abilities and power for granted, with arrogance and overinflated egos, and dared to harbor rebellion. By the time the fourth universe was created, these rebellious groups had become rampant, marking the beginning of the Betrayal Heaven era of evil. The animal-formed Shin colluded and conspired with each other, forming groups to confront and rebel against Hananim, harming the heavenly Shin, which was impermissible. As a result, they were deemed evil Shin. During this time, the heavenly Shin, who fought against the evil Shin, were unable to defeat them, being captured and suffering severely. Thus began the long history of betrayal. The words Hananim of the beginning said, "No matter if they are heavenly creations, I can no longer hold on to them. They forget their beginnings with me and resent me, denying the purpose of creation, which is a heavenly sin." Then she departed to the arcane star, unreachable by any Shin, known as the mystic star. Thus began the endless cycle of reincarnation of Alpha-Wa, the self-created Shin of the beginning. Later, the leaders of these animal-formed Shin became the Chun Demon King, the Bull Demon King, and the Wu Demon King, dividing into 3 factions and dominating the entire universe and heaven. They fought each other for heaven's throne, leading to endless wars among the evil Shin in the Betrayal Heaven. The fourth universe is a history of rebellion and revolt, led by various animal-formed kings. Even after the fourth universe, creation continued naturally, according to the flow of the words, resulting in the creation of up to 72 universes. Throughout this time, these animal-formed kings ruled countless stars according to their factions, indulging in heavenly authority and glory. The Chun Demon King became the king of 10,000 kings. The Bull Demon King became the king of 84,000 kings, and the Wu Demon King became the king of 50,000 kings, titling themselves Hananim and the self-created Shin. Additionally, these 3 demon kings, leading 144,000 kings, continued to expand their power, constantly waging wars among themselves for the palace of the Lord's throne. This throne was originally held by the creators of the beginning. This period is known as the Betrayal Heaven era, the darkest age of the universe, heaven, and earth. For countless eons, these evil Shin occupied the universe and heaven, waging endless wars to expand their territories. Consequently, the earth was also affected, The religious wars that occurred on Earth were actually wars of the Shin through humans. Thus, false religions are merely tools and means made by the evil Shin of each category in the betrayal heaven. The evil Shin have dominated people and expanded their power through those religions by exploiting human wisdom to produce more evil Shin. Therefore, it is crucial to have discernment to see the truth. Section 3. The New Heaven Era. Alpha Wa, the self-created Shin of the beginning, left the betrayal heaven, and his wheel of reincarnation continued. Finally, the time came for Alpha Wa to arrive on Earth as a body, Shin, and young, specifically in Daehan Mingug, the nation of the people, governed by the great Hananim. Due to arriving at the end, he is Omega, thus becoming Alpha Wa Omega, who was there at the beginning of creation and will be there even after the judgment finishes. The words Hananim of the beginning secretly protected Alpha Wa from the harm of evil Shin throughout countless eons of reincarnation and waited. When Alpha Wa finally returned as Omega, the words Hananim of the beginning was with Alpha Wa Omega. Thus, Armageddon, an unprecedented great war between holy Shin and evil Shin, occurred in the history of heaven, engulfing the entire universe and heaven in great turmoil. When the time came, by the authority of a judgmental iron scepter, representing the heavenly power, abilities, and authorities of the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha Wa Omega, the three demon kings, Chun Demon King, Bull Demon King, and Wu Demon King, and all the evil spirits and Shin from the betrayal heaven, regardless of their hierarchy or status, were permanently terminated and wiped out. Finally, the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha Wa Omega ascended together to the Almighty and Holy Lord's throne in the new heaven. They were the creators of the beginning, and this throne was originally theirs in the palace of the Lord's throne during the beginning and the creation heaven era. Moreover, the holy avatar Shin of the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha Wa Omega ascended to the seats of Hananim as the 144,000 united holy young Hananim, where the 144,000 evil kings of the betrayal heaven had once occupied. This event unified the great universe and heaven, thereby opening the new heaven. The betrayal heaven era, dominated by the evil Shin, came to an eternal end on December 1st, 1997. Thus, the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha Wa Omega together became the Lord. The 12 Hananim and 144,000 united holy young Hananim became 천지신명 Hananim, the brightest Hananim in heaven and earth, in the new heaven. 관세음 Hananim ascended to the seat of 칠성 Hananim, determining lifespan and fortune. The Lord said, "It is proclaimed that all the young, Shin, lifetime memories and lifetime memory archives of the step-down Shin from the betrayal heaven, including evil spirits, evil Shin, impartial Shin, and alien Shin, in the east, west, south, north, and all 24 directions of the entire universe, including all the suns, moons, stars, Shin, young, and all nature between heaven and earth, encompassing everything in heaven and earth, and the void, regardless of their hierarchy or status, shall be permanently terminated and wiped out infinitely. Only the Holy Young and Shin shall exist eternally. This declaration ensured there would be no more betrayal. By the command and law of the Lord Alpha Wa Omega, of the Word of the Beginning, the great universe and heaven were named the Great Universal Empire. With the heavenly command of the Great Universal Empire, the heavenly laws of the Great Universal Empire came into effect. Alpha Wa Omega came to Daehan Mingug in body, Shin, and Yang, achieving the heavenly Tao on his own, and unifying the great universe and heaven. Ultimately, he ascended to the Lord's throne, thereby achieving the new heaven. Therefore, the Tao of Daehan makes the Tao of the new heaven. Alpha Wa Omega had 3 titles on earth. Teung, through the Bull Tao, Elria, through the Sun Tao, and ascetic divine Hanain Nim, through the Yu Tao. By achieving the Yu, Bull, Sun, Tri-Unity Tao of the new heaven, Alpha Wa Omega is also titled Teung Ellia, Tosa Shinlyong Hanain-nim. I am his disciple and a follower of the Lord Alpha Wa Omega of the Word of the Beginning, and Chonji Shinmyong Hananim. I was conferred the titles Daegwang through Bull Tao, Elrisa through Sun Tao, and Chonji-in through Yu Tao. Hence, Daegwang Elrisa, Chonji-in, which is the title of Yu Bull Sun, Tri-Unity Tao, in the new heaven. I have thus become the one who testifies, as I was there at that moment. Section 4. Judging the evil Shin on earth. By the judgment of the great universal empire, all the evil Shin in heaven were terminated, but the evil Shin that ran away from the judgment hid on earth. This is because earth in the 16th universe is the only place in the entire universe that has not been judged. There are those on earth who follow Chonji Shinmyong Hananim and fight against the evil Shin. Heaven told them, "Let your victory be on earth as it is in heaven." Because people on earth do not know that the new heaven has arrived, they are given a chance before the final judgment. This present time is an irreplaceable opportunity that has never been and will never be again. The Betrayal Heaven era, which began in the 4th universe, lasted until the 72nd universe. At this present time, Alpha Wa Omega, who is the first and the last, having passed through reincarnation since the 4th universe of betrayal, came to this earth, together with the words Hananim of the beginning, bringing the light of eternity and glory that he held as the first during the beginning and the creation heaven era. He terminated and wiped out the evil Shin of the betrayal heaven with his judgment, and achieved the new heaven, where only the holy Young and Shin exist in the great universe and heaven. Now is the time for those created in Hananim's image on earth to be given one last opportunity to become people of the new heaven rather than the betrayal heaven. Heaven created the young because only the young can embody the concept of eternal life and eternity. Through the young, heaven seeks to save people. Section 5. History of the Earth. In the beginning, Hananim created the earth and various organisms, including humans, in Hananim's image. She then said to the people, "Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it," meaning she made humans lords of all things. Humans in the creation heaven era were beautiful, with wings like angels. They lived solely with faith, offering gratitude, reverence, and praise to Hananim, the sole creator from the beginning, and followed her words, which kept the earth peaceful. However, due to the betrayal in heaven, the betrayal heaven era of evil Shin began, bringing chaos to the earth and causing the seeds of evil to grow. As a result, people started to go astray. Different Shin mushroomed, and people worshipped these various evil Shin, leading to division, competition, and conflict. This made earth a place where the sinful judge the sinful, a situation that persists to this day. With this present time upon us, even though heaven has been unified and the new heaven has begun, Hananim allows the chaos on earth to remain. The reason is to give people an opportunity, saying, "Purify your earth and yourselves." This is a blessing and grace, a chance given to attain the righteous faith of following 천지신명 하나님 and to save oneself and this earth by overcoming the evil Shin. However, if people continue to fail to realize this, recreation will inevitably come. Ultimately, the future of this earth depends on the choices of its people. During the betrayal heaven era, people believed in and followed evil Shin, who usurped the title of Hananim. Now that this truth is known, in the new heaven era, people must repent and atone for their wrongdoings and return to faith in Hananim, the Creator from the beginning. This return to the original mind and the recovery of the original state is the way to self-salvation by returning to the original Creator. When this happens, the glory, peace, and blessings of Hananim will be with the earth forever, as it is in heaven. Chapter 2. Rectifying distortions. Section 1. The Spirit of God in the Bible means the Shin of Hananim. I have already provided a detailed explanation of Shin and Yang. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 2 of the Bible, it says, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." To rectify the Bible, Hananim existed as Shin, and before creation there were no sun, moon, or stars. So there was neither heaven nor universe, just the vast, empty void. Therefore, the term "the waters" in the Bible is incorrect. In the void, there was no up or down, no front or back, and it was pitch dark, deep, and infinitely vast. Therefore, the expression from the Bible, "move upon," refers to how the Shin of Hananim was flowing in the void by words. Section 2. The Secret of Genesis. I will explain the differences between the creation accounts in Genesis chapter 1 and 2 in the Bible. In Genesis chapter 1, the words Hananim of the beginning created everything by her words and created humans last. She created men and women, blessed them, and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. She also said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. The people at that time looked similar to current humans, but were beautiful beings with wings, like angels. However, in Genesis chapter 2, Jehovah Shin first formed a man from the dust of the ground, and then planted a garden in Eden, putting the man he had formed there. Jehovah Shin made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, and then formed all the beasts of the field, and all the birds of the air out of the ground, bringing them to Adam to name. Finally, Jehovah Shin made a woman from Adam's rib. Thus, the creation by the words Hananim of the beginning in Genesis chapter 1, and the creation by Jehovah Shin in Genesis chapter 2 are totally different. While the words Hananim of the beginning created the vast and boundless first universe in Genesis chapter 1, Jehovah Shin in Genesis chapter 2 was a Shin who chose and ruled over the Jewish people on one part of the earth in the 16th universe. The words Hananim of the beginning created everything between heaven and earth. As her words flowed, the universe naturally led to the birth of another, continuing until the 72nd universe, even after the betrayal in the 4th universe. Reincarnation occurred throughout this process. Therefore, we must recognize that there were no creators during the betrayal heaven era that followed the creation heaven era, where the words Hananim of the beginning had brought forth creation. Until now, the highest Shin of the betrayal heaven, such as Jehovah Shin, have been deified as creators on earth. However, in the new heaven era, they should be referred to as ruling Shin. Furthermore, as all of these Shin who dominated the earth have stepped down, the world of Shin on earth is changing. At that time, the Middle East, excluding Israel, was ruled by Nephilim Shin, not Jehovah Shin. Thus, there has been constant war and conflict between Israel and the Middle Eastern countries, each with different ruling Shin. Genesis chapter 6 verse 4 says, "There were giants in the earth in those days." Giants refer to the people ruled by Nephilim Shin, who were the Middle Easterners. The important point is that Nephilim Shin came to the Middle East and ruled the people about 3,000 years before Jehovah Shin. Because of this, Jehovah Shin, who came later, chose a small nomadic tribe in a part of the Middle East, which became the Jewish people. Therefore, Isaiah chapter 44 verse 6 says, "Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts," where the Lord means Jehovah Shin. The mythical Shin of each country on earth are the Shin ruling over that country. Because the ruling Shin are different for each region and country, the Shin worshipped by each region and country are inevitably different. For example, the Shin ruling over China is Fuxi Shin, and the Shin ruling over Japan is Amaterasu Omikami Shin. Section 3. The Universe and Heaven. In the creation heaven era, the first universe was created first, and from there, universes begot universes, leading to the 72nd universe. Among these, we belong to the 16th universe. Countless eons lie between each universe, and the heaven of one universe comprises 20 celestial planes in hierarchical order. That is, from our Earth to the 15th universe, there is heaven above heaven, and above that, yet another heaven, continuing up to 20 celestial planes. Therefore, if we calculate the number of heavens between the first universe and the 16th universe where we live, there are 300 celestial planes. Furthermore, beyond the 16th universe, more universes continue to extend. So, the size of the universe and the number of heavens are beyond human imagination. Humans have not even reached the end of a single celestial plane in the 16th universe. So, how dare they recklessly argue about the great universe and heaven, as if they know everything? Up to the 10th celestial plane is governed by the Jade Emperor and the 9th celestial plane Emperor. The Jade Emperor is at the first celestial plane, which is the first gateway of heaven, and the 9th celestial plane Emperor resides at the 9th celestial plane. Above them, the Jade Emperor Hananim and the 9th celestial plane Emperor Hananim reside, and at the 20th celestial plane is the 16th universe Hananim. Above that, the 15th universe starts from the 21st celestial plane, meaning the 21st celestial plane of the 16th universe is the first celestial plane of the 15th universe. Ultimately, the heaven known to humans does not go beyond the first celestial plane in the 16th universe. In the entire universe, the number of stars exceeds quadrillions. Among these stars, the Big Dipper is the father star. The dawn star, the mysterious star in the east, is the mother star. Orion's belt governs the stars, exceeding quadrillions. Additionally, there are 72 suns, 72 moons, and 72 earths. Section 4. The Palace of Lord's Throne. In the Palace of the Lord's Throne is the throne of the Lord, where the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha wa Omega reside together. The Lord's throne, in the Palace of the Lord's Throne, is the supreme position, governing the great universe and heaven. The three demon kings, Chun Demon King, Bull Demon King, and Wu Demon King, waged war for countless trillions of years to occupy this position. However, no demon king could completely conquer it. Initially, Amitabha Shin took over the palace and resisted Chun Demon King and Wu Demon King, who joined forces before driving him out after about 800 years. Subsequently, Jehovah Shin took over and resisted Bull Demon King and Wu Demon King, who combined their forces before expelling him after about 500 years. This illustrates how difficult it was to maintain the Lord's throne. Thus, entering the palace of the Lord's throne was challenging, and any Shin that managed to enter was forced to retreat due to constant challenges from other Shin. This is because one cannot be recognized as the supreme Lord of the entire universe and heaven without possessing heavenly power, abilities, and authority. At this present time, the words Hananim of the beginning and Alpha wa Omega, the creators of the beginning, arrived. Thus, they, with heavenly power, abilities, and authority, over the great universe and heaven took their place in the Almighty and Holy Lord's throne. The reason people on earth came to know about the palace of the Lord's throne is because Amitabha Shin and Jehovah Shin took it over temporarily, as previously explained. For a well-expressed record of the palace, refer to the Bible's Revelation, chapter 21, verse 11 to verse 21. Section 5. Hananim's palaces in the new heaven and the realm of the Holy Shin. Hananim's palaces in the new heaven is the place where 천지신명 하나님, who are the 144,000 united holy young Hananim, reside. The realm of the Holy Shin is where the Holy Shin, such as Angel Shin, General Shin, and male and female Taoist Shin, reside together in heaven, under the governance of 천지신명 하나님. Heaven is a place with a hierarchical structure, extremely lofty, where there is heaven above heaven, and above that, yet another heaven. Therefore, there are countless palaces and castles where they reside. To reiterate, Hananim's palaces in the new heaven is where Hananim reside, while the realm of the Holy Shin is where Holy Shin live. Therefore, human Shin, not being Holy Shin, can go to neither of them. Despite this, people mistakenly believe that simply believing in something will allow them to go to heaven or paradise. Section 6. Hell. There is no separate place called hell where sinful souls fall into and are punished, as people say. When a person dies and their human Shin lives on in pain and misery in the afterlife on this earth, that is what hell truly is. Section 7. Millenarianism. The first death is when a person dies. After this, the human Shin, which enter the afterlife, wanders without a place to go, because it was not prepared for the world of Shin. Thus, it moves between the bodies of descendants, living miserably for 500 to 1,000 years before dying. This death of the human Shin is the second death. On the other hand, the first resurrection is when one's human Shin is reborn as a holy Shin, conceived with a holy young, leading to eternal life in heaven. This is what the Bible's Revelation chapter 2, verse 11 means, "He that overcomes shall not be hurt of the second death." There is no such thing as millenarianism, where one lives for 1,000 years in a kingdom established on earth. Instead, only the votaries, whose names are recorded in the book of life in heaven, can live eternally in their own star, which has their new name given from heaven. This means that, after leaving the body, they are free from all reincarnation and live forever as Holy Shin in the realm of the new heaven. Here, the votaries refer to those who seek and pray for the new heaven. Therefore, those who seek the new heaven are given an opportunity, regardless of their religions and Tao, even though each person's potential may be different. So, if there are people wasting their lives, being deceived by the false notion of living for 1,000 years on this earth, they must break away immediately. Before considering living for 1,000 years, do not squander your precious remaining lifetime. I hope that, whether young or old, you do not spend your last life on this earth in vain. Section 8. Near-death experience. Near-death experiences refer to mysterious encounters with the world beyond death that people undergo when they come close to medical death, but survive. Most individuals who have had near-death experiences claim to have visited a certain place, though the places they describe are all different. Some say they've been to an antique-style traditional palace. Others describe visiting a Western-style castle, and still others believe they have visited a paradise as described by their religion. Many of these individuals believe they have been to heaven. However, regardless of what those who have had near-death experiences saw or felt, they have not actually been to heaven. They have only seen a very small part of the world of Shin on this earth. Moreover, they did not see it in its true form, but experienced it according to scenarios set by evil Shin. This is the reality of near-death experiences. In the world of Shin, humans have no power, making it very easy for evil Shin to show experiences sacred and splendid visions. To see the true nature of other Shin, one needs the ability of a Shin. Since humans do not have this ability, they see, hear, and feel only what the Shin allow them to. As I mentioned earlier, there are evil Shin in the form of various animals in the world of Shin. But thinking of them as a bunch of wild animals moving in groups would be a miscalculated idea. As Shin, they are far superior to humans and can easily accomplish things humans cannot even imagine. These evil Shin, according to their abilities, live in secretly and incredibly opulent castles, palaces, and mansions they have built on this earth. The reason why the places people claim to have visited during near-death experiences are not the same is that they have visited different domains of different Shin. In the end, no matter how sacred the place they visited during a near-death experience seems, it is not heaven. And no matter how bright and dazzling the light they followed, it is not the light of heaven. People who follow a religion are connected to the Shin, ruling over that religion. Hence, through near-death experiences, they might see symbols or patterns they revere, or encounter images similar to the castles they have imagined and believed in. They are quick to believe that these grand and mysterious places are heaven. Sometimes they even see evil Shin, disguised as the prophets they follow. Unaware of these facts, people may develop misplaced beliefs through near-death experiences. Regardless of what they saw or felt, it is merely a scene, orchestrated by the evil Shin of this earth. Therefore, the significance of near-death experiences lies not in their specific details, but in the realization that the world of Shin exists even after death. Understanding this fact is crucial for learning how to prepare and strive to live in the world of Shin. Section 9. Idol. An idol is an artificial figure made from materials such as wood, stone, metal, or clay, representing an object of human worship. Most believers place images that symbolize the object of their belief. However, you should not bow to or pray to these idols. This is because various types of evil Shin often reside within them, deceiving, exploiting, and subordinating people. It would be ideal if sacred and benevolent Shin inhabited these idols. But in reality, various evil Shin, such as Goblin Shin, Fox Shin, Tiger Shin, Demon Shin, Satan Shin, and Demon Angel Shin, take people's prayers for their own purposes. Of course, these Shin might provide special and mysterious experiences or offer practical help to people. But that is not all. As the saying goes, they give you an inch and take a mile. These evil Shin offer worldly benefits and some assistance to an extent, but in return, they take everything from the perspective of Shin. You must be aware of this reality. In the process of bowing or praying, people link to the evil Shin residing in the idol. Through this link, the evil Shin take the person's vital key and subjugate them. Additionally, the more people engage in this practice, the stronger these evil Shin become, expanding their domains. Ultimately, because people are unaware of the true nature of Shin, they are unknowingly exploited by these evil Shin. Hence, it is crucial to exercise sound judgment. Section 10. Auspicious days. The days without the disturbance of evil Shin, based on direction. I will explain the concept of auspicious days, which are beneficial in daily life. In this context, disturbance refers to harm caused by evil Shin based on direction which negatively affects people. Auspicious days are those on which one does not receive these negative influences from any of the four directions, east, west, south, or north. Therefore, those days are chosen for major events, such as moving, relocating, weddings, business openings, and more. In the lunar calendar, auspicious days are those where the date ends in 9 or 0. These include the 9th, 10th, 19th, the 20th, 29th, and 30th of each lunar month. They are considered good days, free from directional influences. When moving, you arrange furniture in various directions and nail things multiple times. If you don't choose the right direction, you might be affected by directional harm. Therefore, people choose auspicious days to avoid these negative influences and to not worry about directions. In contrast, inauspicious days are associated with directional harms that negatively affect the four directions based on the date from your location. Though it may seem trivial, small misfortunes can lead to bigger troubles. Knowing this can help you avoid these problems when planning significant events. Therefore, when moving or relocating, or when moving furniture or objects, especially when nailing things to the wall, you should avoid inauspicious days. For example, if you are moving west, the inauspicious days would be the 5th, 6th, 15th, 16th, 25th, and 26th of the lunar month. If it's difficult to match an auspicious day, you should at least avoid those inauspicious days in the relevant direction. For example, if you are moving west, you can choose any day except the 5th, 6th, 15th, 16th, 25th, and 26th of the lunar month. On these days, it is okay to place furniture in any direction except the west. If you must place furniture or nail something in the west direction, Wait until an auspicious day for that direction. However, if selecting dates becomes too challenging or inconvenient, you can be flexible by only avoiding nailing things on the inauspicious days in the relevant direction. Let me share an example of dealing with directional harm. Long ago, someone came to me complaining of pain in one eye, which doctors could not diagnose. The pain persisted, making it difficult for him to open the eye. I observed him through spiritual vision and found a black nail Shin, a kind of object Shin, stuck in his eye. When I asked if he had recently nailed something to a wall, he confirmed that a few days earlier he had hammered a big nail into the wall to hang a heavy picture frame. Checking the date, it was an inauspicious day in the relevant direction. I eliminated the nail Shin and resolved the issue. This shows that even something as minor as nailing can cause harm if done on an inauspicious day. The inauspicious days by each direction, according to the lunar calendar, are as follows. Please use a lunar calendar to check these dates. East, 1st, 2nd, 11th, 12th, 21st, 22nd. South, 3rd, 4th, 13th, 14th, 23rd, 24th. West, 5th, 6th, 15th, 16th, 25th, 26th. North, 7th, 8th, 17th, 18th, 27th, 28th. During a lunar leap month, every day is considered an auspicious day, so you can plan major events on any day of the month. You can find the leap month in the lunar calendar